Unalaska, a quaint fishing community in the Bering Sea. Population 4,000. People wave at each other as they drive by. Going to the grocery store is a social outing. But beneath this beautiful veneer, something unexpected is brewing. They do not realize the connection at first. It started out in the waters.
Hi, and welcome to Flash News for July 1st, 2009. I'm Monica Southworth. Sockeye salmon escapement from Reese Bay in the McLeese Lake is extraordinarily low this year and is now closed to all subsistence fishing. So far, only 512 fish have gone through the weir. Last year, by this point, 2,782 fish had gone up. In 2003, over 61,000 fish had entered the lake. Alaska Department of Fish and Game biologist Aaron Potter says it's unclear why returns are so low.
Pollock and cod seasons are both starting out with unusually high levels of bycatch, which could cause problems for the fleet further on in the season.
The North Pacific Fishery Management Council has taken final action on the Chinook salmon bycatch issue.
Preliminary pollock survey data numbers showed that pollock stock numbers are still low.
You may have been hearing about fishing being not so good in the last couple of years.
Then the problems moved onto the shores.
Some processors are being let go early this season. Plant manager Don Graves says they're acting strangely.
A couple of them kept trying to eat the raw fish as they came down the line. One man, I can't. It's just weird. It's really weird.
The island where the winds were born is being whipped with bad news.
The Alaska Department of Fish and Game isn't sure why escapement is so low this season for all of the salmon coming from the Bering Sea. Environmental conditions seem similar to other years. Another individual has gone missing. 29-year-old Susan Lynch was out in her skiff 2 days ago and never returned. The conditions that day were calm and her boat was found floating undisturbed but empty. Shelley Lawson and Ryan Burt never returned from fish camp this year. Their site looks undisturbed and no foul play is suspected.
The tension was as thick as the fog.
Matt, I'm getting tired of this, bro! We're looking for him, we can't find him! I hear nothing on the radio, I see nothing in the net! What's going on? I don't know! Tell me, you got 30 seconds to tell me! I go look. Keep an eye on it! Okay!
I had known about Unalaska for some time. My buddies used to fish crab out here during the heydays of the 80s. They liked to tell me wild stories of all-night drinking binges and going out to fish in massive storms without sleeping for days. They even said one time an enormous crab attacked the community and was eating people. Crab Terror, they called it. So I figured the story was just a product of too much drinking and not enough sleep. But then recently, I started hearing strange news reports out of the region.
Pollock fishermen are scratching badly this year. All of the usual fishing grounds within the horseshoe and beyond seem oddly empty. Salmon fishermen are concerned about the quality of their fish. The normally bright red flesh is white and the skin has weird marks in it.
Could the terror have been real? Could the terror be back? Or was this something new? I decided to go out and investigate.
Oh, the fishing this year has been horrible. It's been slower than ever. Traveling hundreds of miles out further than we ever have, and totals just aren't adding up.
Jerry Tumbler is a fisherman on the Good Luck Irene.
Well, personally, we like to catch our quotas and make our money. It is a business, but at the same time, we come out here for limited, periods of time, and we expect to pull in certain amounts of weight and match our quotas, and it's hard to do that when there's no fish down there.
I asked him, what does he think is going on?
It's hard to say. The fish we have caught have been small, so might be promising for the next year or two to come, but I don't know. It's as if they've just all disappeared.
I interviewed the fishermen on the Mary Maiden. Conrad and Brandon shared their woes.
Fishing sucks. We can't find any fish. We've been fishing for 4 days and caught nothing.
Fishing's been awful. We haven't heard anything from anyone. The media's been coming up and talking to us, and they're asking questions that we don't really know the answer to.
It sucks. Can't pay my bills. We're not catching any fish. We're not making any money.
Right. We come out. We waste a bunch of time. A key thing for us is to go ahead and go to exploratory, fishing trips and find it out. But we're going everywhere. Absolutely nothing's coming up.
Nothing.
So it's a little baffling. I mean, of course, fishing's gone up and down with every season. They've come and attacked different quota totals that we have, and this one they opened the board completely for everyone. We can catch as much as possible. However, we're going out there and we can't even catch one.
Out at sea, close to shore, the fish could not be found. I saw Sharon fishing out in Unalaska Bay. It's going to be tough filling the freezer this winter.
Oh, the fishing's been horrible this summer. We count on, the fish for smoking and pickling and freezing and drying. And we've gone day after day, and there's been absolutely nothing in the net. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's, the weather. It's been a very, very cold summer. I don't know whether it's because something's out there taking our fish. It's just been awful.
That evening, the #1 TV station in Unalaska aired this newscast.
Good evening, Unalaska, and welcome to tonight's news. This just in, a charter boat was cruising out by the north side of the island when the passengers witnessed what they initially thought was an exciting wildlife viewing until they realized that the animals were actually in panic. Birds were swarming en masse, and whales were being forced to the surface by an unknown predator. This alarming scene was most decidedly not business as usual for the Bering Sea. Authorities are currently investigating this bizarre wildlife anomaly. Visit our website for updates and details as the story unfolds. There was an unusual incident today at a local restaurant. The sushi bar requested assistance from public safety as there was a group of patrons who got unnecessarily upset when informed there were no more fish available. Detective Riley Cannoli responded to the scene.
The whole situation was a bit fishy, if you will, an unsettling scene. The call came in as I was tucking into my tuna sandwich, waiting in a speed trap in my patrol car. I raced to the restaurant. Hordes of people were surrounding the waitress demanding fish. Some were yelling, others were in tears. To distract them, I threw my sandwich across the restaurant. They all dove towards it while I grabbed the waitress and ran. She's currently in protective custody.
Other restaurants on the island have reported their low fish supply, high fish demand problem. We interviewed the executive chef for more details.
I'm Bobby Q. Sauce, and I'm the executive chef here. Well, after last week's strange spike in fish orders, we ordered 3 times the normal amount of fish fillets, fish sticks, fish fingers, but it just wasn't enough. And then my supplier couldn't get any more. Out of desperation, I even asked my competitors to help out, but they were out too. We even started serving surimi on the plate. Everybody wants fish. Ugh. I long to cook something else, salad, steak, even liver and onions, anything but fish.
The entire town is now asking, where has all the fish gone? Good night, Unalaska.
Indeed, where had all the fish gone? But not only were the fish missing, so were the people. Even kayakers had stories. Katie Canoe shared hers.
Betsy and I decided to go out kayaking that day because it was flat, calm. It was like glass out there. So we got in our kayak and Betsy was in front and we were just going like normal when suddenly this thing just hit the side of the kayak. I don't know what it was. It was weird looking and kind of white, like a beluga, but not because we don't have those. I don't know. So it was whacking into the kayak and Betsy tried to hit it with her paddle and I tried to hit it with my paddle, but nothing. It wouldn't go away. It seemed to just make it mad. So the huge thing, it knocked over our kayak. I floated up to the surface, but Betsy, she was gone. Nothing. I don't know what happened to her. All we found later was her paddle.
The next day I heard a boat went aground under some unusual circumstances. It sounded like whatever attacked the kayakers had moved on to bigger prey. I went down to the spit to talk to Captain Paul Samaki.
We were out fishing for cod and we were going along doing fine, and all of a sudden these pollocks start gathering around our ship. And we noticed they were strange. They didn't look normal. One of them jumped out of the water and got on deck and bit a chunk out of one of my crew members' leg. And when we finally got it off his leg, we noticed it had weird looking teeth. So we were starting to notice they were gathering in ever increasing numbers, and all of a sudden this huge pollock came up and it rammed the side of our vessel. And we started taking on water, so I was afraid we were going to lose the crew and the ship, so I had to run the ship aground. And when we ran aground, we got in shallow water where the pollock couldn't follow us, and I was able to save the entire crew, but we lost our ship here.
Something strange was definitely going on. When a group of local divers found out I was looking into the issue, they came forward with some strange footage from the week before.
Yeah, so my buddies and I were out diving like we do every weekend. And I brought my new camera to test it out because I'm still learning how to use it. So we were underwater like normal in some kelp. And suddenly my buddy starts thrashing around. I figured at first he just got his flipper stuck. So I moved the camera to get a better look, and he was struggling with what it looked like a giant fish. I let the camera go and tried to help, but the fish's tail batted me away. And I got footage of my friend, but none of the monster. And now my buddy is gone. All I found out after I got my bearings was his glove. It's such a shame. I mean, his dry suit was expensive, and it would have been nice to get that back.
After just a few days in Unalaska, I had already seen evidence of 3 tragic accidents, all tied to odd reports of a giant fish. On Sunday, when I was touring the processing plant, I saw the aftermath of a 4th.
Remember, check breath sounds. Alright, she's clear. I think she's pretty stable. What do you need over there, Flor? What do you got?
I'm Esperanza Vidasalva with Emergency Medical Services, and we got a call, an emergency call, through one of the processing plants regarding a fish injury.
Okay, we got a line on her, Flor. Alright, how's she doing? Is she still talking to you?
Yeah, she's moaning and groaning
Come here.
still.
Check, yeah? Okay, she's still with us?
My neck.
Okay, we don't have much of a pulse. Hey, drive faster, alright? We gotta get her there.
Gotta go.
I'm Dr. Bart Spengel, physician here at the clinic. The tragic incidents today were terrible. It's nothing like I've ever seen here on the island. Victim number 1 came in. It was terrible. Bleeding from the neck. She had a neck wound that looked like a saw or razor tear of the tissue on her neck.
Doctor, we have a 20-year-old patient here that's been bitten by a fish. He's had significant
Bitten by a fish? A significant amount of blood loss. It was just tragic. Luckily, we were able to stabilize her and get her situation improved. Long-term ramifications of this injury are just unknown. I've never seen anything like this.
Well, we have no idea. We just go because it was a fish injury. But upon getting there, we see this one person that has been bitten. I don't know who did the biting. All I know is that she's bleeding. I see another person that's still semi-twitching, and he's apparently been bit several times, extremely pale and a lot of blood everywhere. So I'm trying to figure out where the fish comes in.
This bite. Oh my God!
Is it bad, doctor?
Control that bleed. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I feel so lightheaded.
He's seasoned, Doc.
This one's got significant blood loss. Go ahead and hold pressure on that. I just have a hard time believing the on-scene description of a fish. A fish creating injuries like this is just out of the question. I can't imagine something like this happening.
Then she's going on about the fish did it, the fish bit me. So I have no idea what's going on. All I know is that this huge big fish, she threw a fish and it got the other person and it's still biting him. And
well, I got into work just like I do every morning, and I was at the fish line and the fish were coming down like they normally do, and I went to pick up this fish and all of a sudden it attacked my neck. So I grabbed it and I chucked it across the room, and then it hit my buddy. All of a sudden, the thing just keeps biting him in his neck, in his arm, in his stomach, and he's freaking out, and he falls to the floor, and he's seizing and shaking and having all this movement, and he's losing blood. It's spurting out all over the place, and so they call for help. They call the EMTs, and then the EMTs get there and start trying to save him. And me as well, because I had this little cut as well.
Oh, yeah. Blood everywhere, man. You got attacked by the fish? I don't know.
Attacked by a fish?
She's holding down.
We're losing him.
Holding down.
You're not gonna die on me, man.
He's gonna die? No, he.
No.
They're taking care of him right now.
This one's gone. All we can do is work on the living.
My friend.
We lost him.
Tragically, victim number 2 was beyond our help. The injuries that he sustained, bite marks to the neck and the chest and the arm, the abdomen, significant blood loss. Where does a wound like this come from?
Is it gonna leave a scar?
We'll worry about scars later.
But I just haven't got a clue as to how I can begin this investigation with the background story that's so preposterous for these type of injuries.
A fish?
A fish.
I can't believe that.
She found the fish and it attacked her.
I can't take the fish with me to show what happened, but they've got these huge marks, and I have never seen anything like that before.
Well, you know, it was really sad, and it was a really stressful experience, and you know, I've never had a friend die before, and I saw the whole thing, but you know, like, I really just want a fish sandwich, like a tuna sandwich, you know, a McDonald's McFish sandwich, something. I'm just really hungry.
After the accident at the plant, the story seemed to take a bizarre turn. It wasn't just a giant fish in the ocean that was causing the trouble. Regular small pollock that have been fished and handled for years were suddenly attacking workers. I wondered if this had happened before. So I went to visit a local elder at Camp Q, the local Aleut culture camp. Maybe this wasn't the first time for such sordid events.
This is our 12th year of the camp, and it's kind of hard to believe. It seems like it's been like a couple of years, but 12 years have passed. So I'm kind of glad I'm still involved with the camp, and it's always nice to see both students and the mentors coming back each year.
I came about the story from my great-grandfather, who was a famous hunter and fisherman in the Aleutians.
Joseph Burks began studying Aleut legends as a small child when he lived with his grandfather.
Okay, the great white pollock. There was once a great white pollock called Athidagamagit, and then he was lived in about 60 fathoms of water, and he would surface at night, only at night, and people were wondering why they would, and then to try to avoid staying away from the great white Athida, or the pollock. And one day, as a hunter was going out fishing for halibut, and then it was getting dark, and he hadn't caught anything, so he waited out there until he knew about the great white pollock and what that the hunters and the fishermen kept disappearing at night. So as he was fishing for codfish, and then this great white pollock suddenly appeared in front of his his skin boat, and then he was not after the man, but he was after the blood of the Aleut, because he discovered that the blood of an Aleut was richer than the other kinds of blood, so he wanted the rich blood. So he bit into the hunter or the fisherman, and then he drank all his blood, and then normally the dark-skinned people, but when he was still alive, but when he got back to his village, his skin was all white, and then he got weaker and weaker until, since he didn't have enough blood, and old Aleut used to say that in order to get rich blood, that you have to have a lot of raw liver to recover your blood back. But he didn't eat enough liver, and as a result, 2 weeks later, the fisherman died.
Then the legendary monster might be responsible for some of the earlier deaths. But what about the strange fish at the plant? It also doesn't explain what happened next. I was preparing to interview another camp instructor, Jared Chadwick, about the symbolism of monster fish and Alaska Native poetry. Jarrah said he wanted to wash his hands in the ocean first and film the interview later. It was the last choice he ever made.
Are you okay? Are you okay? What do you want us to do?
Don't look, I don't want you to see the blood.
Huh? He's down. Go get Matt. He's right there. Tell him to come on. Where is he? Who's that? Where's Jarrah? He's on the beach. Okay, go get Matt. Tell him to join me. The 12 gauge needles.
Yep. We're gonna start 2 IVs here. Oh my gosh.
It's so white.
It's so white. It's so pale.
What's wrong with it?
I've heard stories of this. To have a pulse in this hand.
Pulse in the left hand.
Uh-oh. We better get him to the clinic.
Right away. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
I can't.
I think it's too late.
I don't think he's breathing.
Oh no. It's too late.
Oh no. It's so weird because he's so pale and it happened so fast.
I know it's Jarrah and all, but I've never seen him this white before.
I don't know how it happened. We just saw him on the beach and he just fell. Fell, yeah. I'm really scared. I hope he's okay.
Jarrah and the plant workers were attacked by small, pale, strange-looking pollock. Some of the only pollock still in the area. What was happening to the fish? I decided to talk with a local pollock expert, Dr. Edward Cullen.
We recently finished 239 pollock trials around the region. Each time we pulled the gear, we found fewer and fewer fish. The specimens we did capture were thoroughly examined in our laboratory using vigorous government-approved procedure. Everything was done to code. Everything. We noted that each fish was significantly paler and thinner than the average pollock caught during the past 13 survey years. Fish also had a small puncture wound near their gills. All the wounds were the same on each fish. On one occasion, the sun actually broke through the clouds and the fish seemed to sparkle. After consulting the scientific and historical literature on the subject, the pollock, or Theragra calcogramma, seemed to be suffering from a similar malady that affected the small Sina fish in the Philippines. In the early 20th century, the Mysticithus luzonensis only typically grows 1.25 centimeters. However, there is documented evidence of one fish that grew 10 centimeters. Around that time, the other fish started becoming pale and thin and dying off.
He seemed a little young, so I asked him, "How old are you?"
I'm actually older than you think.
The scientists seemed sure of the answer. The pollock were all vampires. The community wanted action. The great white pollock must be stopped. They called an emergency meeting, which, for a city meeting in the summer, was remarkably well attended.
Quiet please, quiet please. Going to call to order this special public meeting to discuss Pollock Terror.
We've got to do something. Those pollocks killed my friend.
How are we going to get that killer pollock? That's what we're here to talk about tonight. The council has been trying to figure out what to do. They've contacted other organizations, but we still we haven't got it figured out.
We've been working with the Coast Guard and other agencies, but we just can't find the great white pollock.
Mayor Marquardt, you remember in 1986, we had to deal with the giant red king crab and all the damage and lives that were lost in the community. Well, we can handle the pollock. I'll tell you, we killed 700 1,000 metric tons of pollock a year in this community, and we can certainly take care of a giant pollock. We'll take the ring out of him, we'll fillet him, we'll put him in a box, and we'll get him out of here. We can take care of this issue. I'm sure we can.
Let's turn him into a big fish sandwich.
Oh, we could save this town. We have to.
All right, we understand your concerns. We really appreciate it. We're doing everything we can to find this fish.
But we really need your help. Public, we need you, we need your boats, we need your time. This terror at sea it's just not going to, we're not going to be able to stop it unless we have your help, and it's going to be very dangerous. So you've got to be careful and out there on the water and
really, and we do appreciate the audience, and thank you for coming tonight to help us with this terrible problem we have out here.
We've got some of the largest harvester boats in the nation that work out of this community. We got factory trawlers that are 280 feet long that have a net that can carry up to 200 metric tons of fish. We can get this pollock. We either do it with the commercial boats or we'll have the local individuals catch it. We've got all these people here that go fishing for sport, Rod. Look at the size of the halibut out. We got a 500-pound halibut that was caught on a fishing pole. We certainly can take care of this pollock.
We can catch him. We can get him. We can definitely get him.
We can use my boat.
Yeah, and I can ride in a kayak and get him. We can do this.
It should be no problem. We have the people in this community and the knowledge. We'll get this pollock before it does any more damage.
Let's save our town.
Okay, well, I have a boat, you can use it too, and we'll certainly be out there helping the Coast Guard as they work to finally solve this issue. And if we have a Feel Good Marines out there, that makes me happy too. That can only make it better. Let's go.
The community members rallied their friends and anyone with a boat. They went out en masse to hunt down the great white pollock.
We're gonna go out and get that big fish.
Yeah.
Things are ours.
Yeah. Mine.
Bring it. We're gonna go out and get that fish. We're gonna get that big fish. The thing's ours.
Yeah.
Save our town.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't just pack it, wear your jacket. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm out to get that fish who's been a problem for a long time.
Advised to stay clear of the area. All vessels entering the 1,000-yard safety zone will announce their presence and intentions on Channel 22 Alpha. Break. This is the Dutch Harbor Master clear.
As the boat searched for fish, I decided to wait for the outcome at Summers Bay. We knew the fish was somewhere around there, but we didn't know exactly where. When I got to the bay, Elena and her son Scotty were fishing. I thought she was cute, so I walked with her. I never expected to witness the end of Pollock Terror.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
The town was saved. The waters are safe. People gathered to celebrate their new hero.
Hey, in Alaska, look at our newest hero. Scotty Sparney. He saved us when no one else could. The Coast Guard couldn't save us from the killer Pollock. The Marines couldn't save us. The Navy came in. They didn't do anything. And we finally had Scotty Sparney, who went out there and he caught that killer Pollock, so we don't have to be scared anymore. So without further ado, I'll turn the mic over to ex-mayor Frank V. Kelty, and he can let Scotty Sparney know what the new name of the park is.
Well, Scotty, it's my honor to thank you for saving the community, for catching the catching the Pollock. As you can see, the Pollock almost got me. I was slightly injured by the Pollock, but I was able to get away. You know, with your great fishing capabilities and getting that killer vampire Pollock on shore and making sure it was dead, you've saved the lives of many people in the community. And it's my honor to turn over the name of Kelty Field to Scotty Savarney Field. And this is a great honor.
Shake his hand.
Yeah.